This episode is brought to you by Dogfish Head Craft Brewery. The Grateful Dead and Dogfish Head have gotten the band back together with the release of Grateful Dead Juicy Pale Ale, a light-bodied pale ale brewed with sustainable Kernza grains, granola, and heaps of good karma for a refreshing brew that's music to your taste buds. Available nationwide. Visit dogfish.com to find Grateful Dead Juicy Pale Ale in your neck of the woods. Dogfish Head Craft Brewery is located in Milton, Delaware. Please drink responsibly.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. From streaming to shopping, Prime helps you get more out of your passions. So whether you're a fan of true crime or prefer a nail-biting novel from time to time, with services like Prime Video, Amazon Music, and fast free delivery, Prime makes it easy to get more out of whatever you're into or getting into. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to learn more.
The Conjuring Last Rites. On September 5th.
Hey, come down here! I need your help!
The Conjuring Last Rites. Only in theaters September 5th. Rated R.
The Twisted Tale of Amanda Knox is on Hulu. In 2007, Amanda Knox was studying abroad in Italy. She had no idea her dream would turn into a nightmare. Inspired by the actual events of her wrongful conviction and 15-year fight for freedom, watch the new Hulu original series, The Twisted Tale of Amanda Knox. Now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
I'm 32, juggling family, working full-time, and earning a bachelor's degree. At University of Phoenix, I earn career-relevant skills with every 5-week course. Skills I can use now, not just after graduation.
Earn skills in weeks, not years. Visit phoenix.edu.
What is going on, everybody? The journey to the 2026 NFL Draft has officially begun. We are reacting to week 1 of college football, talking more Eagles draft targets to know, breaking down our horrendous picks from week 1 and our predictions for week 2, of course. Joining us, Ryan Reese at Philly Sports, PSA. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I should just retire from selecting college football games. Brutal first week, but yeah. Listen, the first week definitely didn't go the way many people didn't expect. So I'm sure I wasn't the only one.
Let's jump right in. Top takeaway from week 1. For me, it was Tommy Castellanos. And who the hell is this guy? He comes into Florida State, a transfer from, I believe, multiple schools. And really, a star was born on Saturday, and his name was Tommy Castellanos. He had 152 yards passing, 78 yards on the ground in the upset. As an NFL prospect, he's kind of a Jordan Travis-esque quarterback. He's really good at making defenses play left to right. I mean, his quickness and explosion with his legs, extending plays with his legs was really impressive, keeping defenses off balance. I think he needs to grow a lot when it comes to processing and his accuracy as a passer inside the pocket, but he made a statement last Saturday, and he definitely got my attention. If you were to pick one of the biggest winners in college football week 1, it has to be Florida State.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I think, when we did this show last week and we were going over Alabama and Florida State, and, when we were picking this game, I don't even think the thought crossed our mind that Florida State would even make this a game, much less just absolutely demolish Alabama, because that's honestly what they did. They crushed them. And this guy, quite literally, Castellanos, and not the one we're used to yelling at in Philadelphia here, but this guy made Alabama, a very good Alabama defense, look very average. Honestly, they looked confused. He was just able to kind of do whatever he wanted. And it was shocking. Honestly, my jaw was on the floor half the game. So hats off to him. He certainly, he's in the spotlight now. That's for sure.
He didn't have crazy stats, but He was a big, kind of like Jalen Hurts on Sundays.
Yeah.
He was a massive part of them winning in the trenches, and I did not expect that whatsoever against Alabama, who's really strong there, and just made him look silly. Like, they just could not keep up with his speed, whether that was design runs or extending plays outside of the pocket. Again, just 200 yards of offense, but he was a huge part of Florida State controlling the clock, controlling the tempo, and Alabama never responded, never had an answer. So shout out to Tommy Castellanos, man. We are paying attention now. Do you have a takeaway from the week?
You kind of had said it kind of when we were talking that man, you shouldn't go up against Ohio State. I think we all kind of, last year when they made their run to the championship, and again, they're coming off of that embarrassing Michigan loss. I don't think anybody gave them a chance, and then all they did was just dismantle great team after great team after great team, and they obviously lose 90% of their team, it seems like, every year to the NFL draft. And what do? They just continue to just pump out these amazing players. And they took the number one Texas team, and honestly, they dominated them. They made Arch Manning look, like, well, not a Manning. They made him look like the Cooper, basically. And if it wasn't for that Texas defense, I think this game would have been a rout. Hats off to them for keeping this Ohio State offense somewhat in check. Still, man, Ohio State is just, unfortunately, and I really do not like them. You have to respect them each and every year. They're just going to pump out amazing players, and they know how to win.
They have been on an incredible tear. Like, after struggling kind of sluggishly in 2024, they're on a roll right now. And like you said, I'm not picking against Ohio State anymore. And they made Arch Manning look silly. Literally, Arch Manning was 0 of 5 on passes 5 or more yards down the field during the first 3 quarters. He had an off-target rate of 37%. That's the worst game in that department by any Texas quarterback over the past decade. I mean, Arch Manning missing guys. I don't know. I have to look at the tape whether or not his wide receivers were, not creating separation, but ultimately, I saw multiple missed throws, underthrows, overthrows. The pressure was there somewhat, but there were still plays to be made. And I saw Arch Manning miss guys several times. And that's kind of a nice segue to my other takeaway, is I thought there were several other quarterbacks that made their debuts for teams and played really well. Bryce Underwood from Michigan, Dante Moore we'll get to in just a moment, John Mateer out of Oklahoma. There are a lot of, I'm probably missing several, DJ Lagway out of Florida, and the Tennessee quarterback Aguilar, I think his name is, played really well as well. So it was Arch Manning's time to shine, and if anybody was watching that game, I think he had 3 different commercials playing throughout the game. It wasn't the Arch Manning show. It was, I think, an impressive display of quarterback play from other schools that were making their debut.
Yeah, absolutely. It's never great when you have more commercials than you do have first downs. So yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But listen, this is his first. Let's be honest. This is his first real start. This is his team, and he's going into into a horrible environment in Ohio State. It's a tough place to play. I mean, they do it well there. So hopefully, he can learn from this and get back to, the Heisman hopeful that we all thought he was.
The other major takeaway before we get into week 2, and especially our picks from week 1 and determine the winners, but Carson Beck, the return of Carson Beck is in full steam. 20 of 30 passing, 205 yards, 1 big-time throw, 0 turnover-worthy plays, 2 touchdowns, no picks against a defense that's one of the best in college football. That was really nice to see. He had a passer rating of 108.3, and that included 2 drops by teammates in that one. So shout out to Carson Beck out of Miami. It was a huge win for that program. I thought Beck showed a lot of poise. And, it's he had a down year in 2024 for sure. So
Yep.
him returning to that 2023 form, because we talked a lot about him a year ago from today, and he's back. So
Yeah.
keep an eye on Miami. They also made some noise for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I also would like to, and this is more personal than anything, give a shout out to Pitt and Eli Holstein, who I thought did a fantastic job demolishing Duquesne as they should, 61-9. Holstein 215 yards, 4 touchdowns, 41 yards on the ground, and he was pretty much out for most of the second half. So hats off to him. Hopefully Pitt is getting themselves back into relevancy here. God can only hope.
Yeah, it was a good weekend for the ACC. All right, let's go to. All right, we gotta do this, Ryan. This is a rip it off like a band-aid.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it.
Here's our picks from last week. Sorry, Ryan.
Yikes!
Ryan going 0 for 4. There is one of our games of the week: TCU at North Carolina tonight at 8:00. The return of Belichick, but there it is. So we'll get to our week 2 picks momentarily. But let's jump right into our stars of the week. You picked Dante Moore, who went 18 of 23 passing, had 3 touchdowns, a passer rating of 144, 213 yards passing, 18 yards on the ground. Didn't do anything crazy, like in terms of like plays down the field, but very solid for a first real game from Dante Moore at Oregon. That was a great choice.
Oregon, he was efficient. Yeah, he was efficient, and they just they did exactly what they were supposed to do, demolish. And Dante Moore just kind of did his thing, and then took it easy the rest of the day.
Yeah. And then you got John Mateer out of Oklahoma. That's who I went with. 30 of 37 passing, 3 touchdowns. He did have a pick, 126 passer rating, 389 yards. 5 big-time throws, 2 turnover-worthy plays, 6 carries for a touchdown. Ryan, I don't even know who to pick in this one.
I feel like each one of us would be slightly biased towards our own guy. I'm perfectly fine with each giving us the win.
I'm good. All right, let's do that. Let's make it a wash.
There you go.
Make it a wash. We both get a point.
I finally scored this week.
And then we are going to get into our Eagles draft targets of the week. Ryan, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first. I don't mind.
Okay.
All right. I am going to go with tight end. Shocking, I know. Michael Trigg out of Baylor. He was a transfer from Ole Miss, but Michael Trigg in his loss, unfortunately, this past week, did very well. I think he had, just had it up to, of course. 97 yards. He looked really good. I just had it up too. I had a whole thing. But anyway, I was just kind of looking at him, and I was taking a look at the Baylor game, and he stood out for sure. So I just kind of wanted to look into him. He's probably, again, somebody that's way down on the list, for tight ends. But sometimes the Eagles just don't always do the first or second rounders. So this guy would certainly be a very deep cut. But he's a physical tight end. He's great at going up and getting the ball, contested catches. Again, he did that quite a bit on Saturday. Hands, just absolutely, if there's something, a ball in the region and he can put a finger on it, he's catching it. So he's reliable in that way. Certainly is a quarterback's best friend, for sure. But, he definitely has, the ability to kind of play all over. He could split out wide, if necessary. But yeah, he's not the fastest. He's certainly not the most athletic. Needs to certainly up his blocking game. But, again, for right now, I think he's doing rather well and had a great first week. So I'm going to certainly keep my eye on him the rest of the year.
The disrespect from PFF is wild. He doesn't even have a date of birth or a height or anything.
Oh, wow. I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's just zeros.
I mean, that is pretty brutal. Yeah, he is 246, 6'4". I don't know if I have a date of birth. Yeah, actually I do. 6/27/2002. There you go. Take that, PFF.
Yeah. There you go. Michael Trigg. Definitely keep an eye on him. I'm going to go with a guy that I thought played really well, and Illinois could definitely make some noise. Oh, wait, we got a comment.
Oh,
Patrick. What's going on, Patrick?
What up?
Thanks for joining, man. I'm going to Illinois, and they made some noise this past weekend for sure. Gabe Akis, an edge rusher, who played really, really well. He had 3 run stops, 5 tackles, 4 pressures, 2 sacks, 2.5 tackles for loss, and a forced fumble. So he's kind of that next man up guy for the Illini. If you remember Johnny Newton, but he's tied for 5th on the program's all-time career quarterback sacks list with 18. He's really strong. He's got a solid pass rush repertoire. He's NFL ready. Might not have a super high ceiling, but he's got a really high floor as a run blocker and things like that. So keep an eye out on for Gabe Akis. And heading into week 2, they go up against the Duke Blue Devils, and they're 1-0. And they have a quarterback named Darian Mensah who played really well, nearly 400 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, showed a lot of poise and accuracy inside the pocket. So Gabe Akis versus Darian Mensah will be really fun to watch.
Football is back, and every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Your season starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PINPULL. That's code PINPULL to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more, plus over $200 off of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resorts, Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bet expires 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital game and commercial users excluded. Restrictions may apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
Now at Chipotle, our all-new Chipotle Honey Chicken brings Chipotle heat with a touch of sweet. Seared smoked peppers and savory Mexican spices, blended with a hint of pure honey for a perfectly balanced sauce. All combined with fresh, tender chicken hot off the grill, served up in your favorite burrito or bowl. New Chipotle Honey Chicken takes heat and sweet to a whole new level. But it's only at Chipotle for a limited time. Order now in the app for pickup or delivery. Chipotle, for real.
Blue sky.
Some people think nature is like this, but actually, it's like this. Mother Nature's not all sunshine and rainbows. Nature can be hotter than a sauna and colder than an Arctic skinny dip. That's why Columbia engineers everything we make for anything nature can throw at you. Columbia, engineered for whatever.
If you work as a manufacturing facilities engineer, installing a new piece of equipment can be as complex as the machinery itself. From prep work to alignment and testing, it's your team's job to put it all together. That's why it's good to have Grainger on your side. With industrial-grade products and next-day delivery, Grainger helps ensure you have everything you need close at hand through every step of the installation. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Discover Ralph's Club New York, the new fragrance by Ralph Lauren. With blackcurrant, vanilla, and sandalwood, this scent embodies the sensuality and confidence of Usher. Like the city that never sleeps, this masculine fragrance lasts for 12 hours. Ralph's Club New York. Ralph Lauren. Shop now at Macy's.com.
Very cool. All right.
Again.
I'll go with my next guy, and that is safety Terry Moore out of Duke. Speaking of the Duke Blue Devils, this is a guy that can sort of play all over, whether it be, safety, nickel, basically anywhere, which is certainly nice that he's able to kind of, have that versatility. He's got, great hip flexibility, backpedaling, that just kind of allows him to go step for step with most wide receivers. Just really good instincts out there, I think, is what you notice when you see some film. Yeah, I think he takes his dedication to the game very seriously. He's he's the first in, first out, or last out kind of guy. Which obviously Eagles love the leadership type people. So. He's a little bit raw, obviously, but natural instincts, and I think another solid year from Moore could get him into some talks about getting drafted in the middle rounds.
All right. Terry Moore out of Duke. Definitely have to keep my eye on him. I love how you go out. That's the thing about the NFL draft. It's such a beast. There's so many guys I just have no idea about.
Yeah, there's 5 million to look at. So
I'm going at Ruben Bain Jr. Kind of cheating because he was one of my Eagles draft targets a few weeks ago. But he had a really solid game last night. 5 tackles, 3 pressures, 3 run stops, a sack, a quarterback hit, forced fumble, interception against Notre Dame. So he was a huge part of that defense that shut down the Fighting Irish. As a pass rusher, he's got a lot to like. That speed to power, phenomenal burst off the line, really solid size. He can punish tackles with a bull rush. And he's got a lot of versatility. He can play inside, he can play out. I don't think he's an elite athlete, but he's an elite run defender with big-time power. So another one of those like high floor guys that I think will be a first-round pick. It's just a matter of where. In week 2, the Hurricanes play Bethune-Cookman, the Wildcats, who got rolled by the FIU Panthers 42-9 in week 1. So Bain should have a lot of opportunity to get a couple sacks, more sacks to his name. That's Ruben Bain. He's a beast.
Yeah, absolutely, beast. Would love to add him to the Birds for next year. That would be fantastic. But
yeah, it's him and like T.J. Parker, Denai Dennis Sutton, like any of those combinations of like edge rushers would be awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, let's get to our top 5 matchups of the week. I'll throw it on the screen. Sorry, Ryan. The show must go on.
Hey, listen, I can't do any worse, at least.
Let's start with Oklahoma number 18 Oklahoma versus number 14 Michigan Saturday night. Neither team looked elite, but this is definitely the best matchup of the week. The Wolverines have Bryce Underwood. We'll get a really good picture of what he is here in week 2. The Sooners counter with John Mateer, who was solid in his debut, which was against Illinois State. So the Wolverines defense, I think, is the story and probably the difference. Where are you going with this one, man?
Yeah, listen, when you picked Mateer as your player of the week, it certainly made me stand up and pay attention. And he balled out. He absolutely balled out. I think had this been last week, it would have been easy Michigan pick here. But I don't know. I think this Michigan defense, and they pride themselves on just having such an amazing defense there in Ann Arbor, and it's there. I think this, maybe if this was in Oklahoma, this might be a different story, but I think that might be what kind of pushes me to the edge is giving it to Michigan because it's a home game, and because I feel like I believe in their defense more than I do the Oklahoma offense.
I will second that. I'm going with Michigan. Next up, Oregon at Oklahoma State. Ryan, check this out. This one's really interesting, especially for Oklahoma State. Week 1, Oklahoma State loses their quarterback with an injury. He's out like 4 to 5 weeks. And in another crazy storyline, linebacker Wendell Gregory, who had 3 sacks in week 1, tying a Big 12 freshman record, becoming the first Cowboy to reach that mark in 7 years, was arrested on Saturday night for larceny of merchandise from a retailer after being accused for taking $211 worth of merchandise from a Walmart during May. So that's kind of up in the air.
What?
So they lose their star pass rusher. They lose their quarterback. And then now they head and play Oregon, who, they drubbed Montana State. Dante Moore, 3 touchdown passes, as we discussed. So where are you going with this one?
Oh, wow. Poor Oklahoma State. I feel sorry for the Cowboys, but oh, wait, no, I don't. I never feel sorry for the Cowboys. I don't care what kind of Cowboy it is. I never feel sorry for him. No, listen, I think Oklahoma State, I'm sorry, Oregon State, I can't talk. Oregon, the Ducks, are going to roll over Oklahoma State. Listen, I think even without the injuries and the arrests and the this and that and the other, it was still going to be Oregon's way. But, man, they are going to be kicking some Cowboys when they are down.
Yeah, for sure. Also, real quick shout out, one of our Eagles draft targets. I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Mateo Uiagalelei. I hope I said that right. He had 2 sacks in week 1. So keep an eye on Mateo Uiagalelei in that matchup. Yeah, Oregon rolls. South Florida versus Florida. South Florida was kind of a shocker. In week 1, upset Boise State 34-7. Meanwhile, the Gators went 55-0, dominating Long Island University. If you haven't heard of DJ Lagway, make sure you check him out. He is a beast. He had 3 touchdowns, 15 of 18 passing in just the first half. And Florida's defense, Caleb Banks, they are loaded. They forced turnovers. They held Long Island just 86 yards of offense. I like South Florida. I think they might keep it close, but I'm going Florida.
Yeah, no, I think Florida showed how truly dominant they could be. And again, that was just realistically, that was just the first half. After giving Long Island a break there. 7:30 in the morning.
Morning, Grabby.
We do this all day, 24 hours a day, baby. Florida's gonna.
Florida.
I think they're gonna roll. Honestly, I think South Florida was a nice story last week, but I don't think they keep it close.
All right. Next up, Ole Miss versus Kentucky. Ole Miss is number 21 as of today. This is a Saturday afternoon game. Ole Miss is hunting for revenge after a home loss to Kentucky. And then Kentucky had an uninspiring win in week 1 over Toledo, 24-16. You have the Rebels quarterback Austin Simmons, who looked really solid for Ole Miss in week 1. But he'll be making his first road start. And this is going to be the game that kind of teaches us what Ole Miss is all about. I don't know. They've been so good for so long with Jackson Dart and your boy Trey Harris. Right. But we'll find out more in this one. Where are you going with Ole Miss at Kentucky?
This is. I became an Ole Miss fan last year. That's for sure. So it definitely hurt when they lost to Kentucky last year. But you talk about losing, 2, and obviously they've lost more than just the 2 guys there. But they lost a lot of people, Ole Miss. But, I will say there is a new sheriff in town, wide receiver wise, and that's Harrison Wallace, who went for $130 this past week. So keep your eye on him. He could be my new Trey Harris. But listen, I can't go against the Rebels here. I'm going Ole Miss. They get their revenge.
Man, I hate. That's what I'm going to.
Well, I have no dog in the Iowa fight, so you go first. I'll go the other.
Yeah, Iowa State at Iowa. So it's a noon game on Saturday. Should be fun. The Cyclones, the Iowa State Cyclones, have won 2 of the last 3 in the series, but they haven't beaten Iowa at home since 2011. I think this is going to be a really close game. I'm leaning towards Iowa State.
Well, then I will go Iowa then. We'll stick with the home domination that they have over the Cyclones, and again, everybody knows about their pregame tradition with the Iowa hospital right behind. Can't go against the kids,
All right, there it is. There is our picks for week 2. Then we get to Star of the Week. Ooh. Since we both won, the way we did this was if you won the previous week, you get to pick first for week 2. I'll let you go first.
Okay.
I already know.
I feel like. I went through so many people. And it's tough because, you look at matchups and you're like, oh, well, obviously it's a cakewalk that you're going to dominate, but then, they get taken out in the second half. So you gotta be mindful. But I think there is a situation where even though a dominating performance against a lower opponent would normally get you taken out, I think, given what happened this past week, I think it might be better for the confidence of this player and this team as a whole to flat out dominate for 4 quarters. And I, in a shocking twist, am going to go with Arch Manning.
Wow. Fascinating. Who do they play?
I just had it up too. Which I have too many screens open. Too many screens. San Jose State.
Okay.
So I just kind of have this feeling that, listen, he struggled. The nation is dogging him right now. He is the source of so many memes right now. And listen, let's go out there. Let's forget about last week. Let's go in there. Let's take care of business. Let's dominate San Jose State Spartans, and let's do it for 4 quarters. We're not taking the foot off the gas. I don't care if it's 100-0. Let's do our thing. So that's why I'm going Arch Manning, because he is absolutely going to turn around and put up some gaudy numbers.
San Jose State lost 16-14 against Central Michigan last week.
So you can't lose to directional Michigan.
Should be drubbing for sure.
Yeah.
I am going with a dude that I think everyone should know. He's maybe one of the highest risers right now. Nick Harbor, wide receiver out of South Carolina. Really fun guy. And I'm drinking all the Kool-Aid on this one. He's basically the offensive version of Nick Emanwuri, who I gushed about all season long last year. He is massive, 6'5", 235 pounds, has plus size for his position, fast, NFL-level traits. He only has 38 career catches before last week, 571 yards and 4 touchdowns over the 2 years. But, man, this guy is such a ridiculous athlete. As you see, long arms. He looms over any cornerback asked to cover him. Track athlete. He's expected to run like a 4.3, 4.2, 40 at the combine. And with, Lenora Sellers kind of in his rise for the Heisman, they go up against SC State in week 2, a team that just barely beat Wofford 16-15 in week 1. So I expect Nick Harbor to get probably around like 6 to 7 targets and probably a couple scores. Maybe this guy's a big time threat downfield, big time vertical threat. So Nick Harbor could be wide receiver 1 in this draft. Is Jeremiah Smith draft eligible? I have to check.
I was going to say, don't you have to be 3 years removed from high school, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to double check that.
Yeah, I don't think either him or Ryan Williams are.
Yeah. So, like the question asks on the scouting report, can he put it together in 2025? We'll see. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Nick Harbor out of South Carolina. So that is our picks and predictions for week 2. Ryan, final thoughts, plugs. Time's yours, man.
Yeah, I just would like to apologize to the people for my selections in week 1. It was a bad week. I won't let it happen again. I promise. That is my promise to you all. And I'll continue to dominate, when we do our mock drafts. That's all I can say.
That's your baby. Maybe we'll like make it like a massive score, like overall scoreboard. Actually, I don't even think I threw those results.
No, really? Oh, wow. That's
into
funny.
the Twitter sphere or YouTube sphere. Maybe we'll do that real quick just to get a vote poll on that. But guys, we're going live right after this, talking Eagles versus Cowboys, top matchups to watch, prop bets, all that fun stuff. So we'll be live again momentarily. And of course, happy Labor Day as well. He is Ryan Reese at Philly Sports ESPSA. I am Dibes, Mr. Crockpot. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the other side. All right, man.